We are in the interview series Real-Time Monitoring in the Pharma Supply Chain. In the first interview it was about hardware and communication protocol, how to transmit the real-time data. In this second interview it's about what we do with the data. Philip, what is real-time data good for?
Well, as already mentioned, I think the most convincing benefit depends a little bit on the use case that we have. So for stationary monitoring, be it in production or filling or warehousing, the most convincing benefit probably is that I can easily put the devices into operation, as I do not need any proprietary infrastructure, but can simply use a public infrastructure, the LP1 network. Now for shipment monitoring, the superficial benefit probably is that I do have the data available in real time together with the position data, which allows for interventions prior to a critical deviation occurring.
And how does that look in the software?
For stationary monitoring of rooms and equipment, we like to use a dashboard like we see it here on the left side, which gives a quick overview of the status of my different loggers, and by means of the color code I can easily see where a problem exists. And the icons, for example, indicate whether there are still deviations left that need my attention, for example, which I haven't acknowledged yet. And from this overview view, I then kind of dive deeper into a more detailed view where I can see the measurement row and I get all the relevant events and details for a given time period.
But for shipment monitoring, this is of little use, isn't it?
Correct, quite obviously. For a shipment monitoring, I need a different view. A shipment, or a section as we call it, has a clear start and end point, and I need to assign specific attributes, like for example the origin, the destination, the shipment number, what product the shipment is for, and I then monitor whether there are any deviations between this clear start and end point.
But none of this is new, except that you have the position, correct?
Well, which of course is a big advantage by itself. Just thinking about the new possibilities that arise from this additional information, for example, in terms of process automation. So we could think of automatically triggering actions based on geofences when the logger either leaves or enters into a defined area. And on the other hand, for example, we do get great possibilities to determine the responsibilities in case of a deviation, which obviously might be a relevant information when it comes to the insurance issue. And looking forward, it also will allow us to kind of continuously improve the supply chains. We could think, for example, of a heat map that graphically illustrates where across my network the risk of deviations is higher than in other places.
And this is what you call big data?
Not quite. Personally, I would talk about big data if we also included data from other customers on the one hand, and we could think about integrating additional sources of data, for example, weather information or logistics data. And I'm absolutely convinced that the development is going into this direction. As soon as the customers see the benefits from additional data, like the position information, I'm very sure that the appetite for additional data and additional use cases based on this data will become quite obvious and grow fast.
Thank you, Philip. In the next interview in this series, we will take a look into the future.